And good morning, Southwest Louisiana and Southeast Louisiana. It's your Wednesday morning, December 23rd, 2020, Red Eye Update. And let me get this image set up here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so game has changed a little bit for today. And therein that the Storm Prediction Center has issued, or upgraded rather, the marginal risk to a slight risk for a large part, most of South Louisiana and lower parts of central Louisiana, and into extreme southern Mississippi. Marginal risk extends on the periphery of that. Uh, I don't know if you can make it out here, but this would be your, sorry for the squiggly line here, but a green area in here, this is your marginal risk. So, uh, that changes the game a little bit, and uh, we're going to go through the probabilistic threats here, and the first one being the tornado threat. And the highest threat for tornadoes, see it as a 5% risk in the brown shaded area here, and then a 2% in this lime green shaded area here. So, uh, tornadoes are going to be possible uh, as we move through the course of the afternoon and evening and into the overnight hours as this front starts to swing through. Um, warm sector should extend somewheres up in here. But we're going to continue with the probabilistic outlooks here first. Uh, let's take a look at your hail. Now, uh, we could see some large hail, 1 inch plus diameter, probably inch and a quarter, possibly inch and a half, in this brown shaded area here, which would encompass from Baton Rouge, Laplace, westward, all the way into Galveston Bay, and Galveston, and southward, just on periphery of Houma, include Morgan City. So everybody in this brown shaded area, uh, hail will be a threat as well. Now, the overall highest threat is going to be the wind, damaging winds. And you can see uh, we do have that 15%, which kicked off the slight risk. And it's basically the same as your categorical. So, uh, again, we'll switch back to the wind here. And you can see the strong damaging wind threat uh, is going to be the main threat. Secondary will be isolated tornadoes, and then the third threat would be a low end threat for some rather large hail. 1 inch, 1 inch and a quarter, possibly inch and a half in the strongest updrafts. Um, so we'll have to see how this plays out going forward here. Um, don't think we don't have any issues with significant hatching as I go through that, so which is a good thing. So again, to reiterate, nearly all of South Louisiana uh, is under a slight risk for severe weather, and on that periphery, the dark green shaded area, marginal risk. Now these are the two lower risks, but again, I'm not going to downplay that because, uh, again, anything is possible. You know, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen not even being hatched in a risk area and still get burned with severe weather. So, again, it's something that you do need to take serious today. Have multiple ways to get warnings. Keep your phones charged. Uh, Flashlights, ensure you have uh, batteries for your flashlights in case the power goes out. Battle lanterns, as I call them. I have one here that I bought at the beginning of hurricane season. Um, Takes 4D batteries and also 4 AA's, and it's LED lantern, and it does a really good job. Lasts a long time. So uh, again, be mindful. This front's going to come screaming through here this afternoon and tonight, and quite possibly leave some damage in its wake. So the threat is real, albeit small, but it's still a very real threat. So we're going to take away uh, the risk outlooks, and let's see, 1244. I'm going to stick with the NAM for right now, and um, let's go into, let's see, we're going to start at noon today, and actually let's load the loop here. So from noon, let's get us everything set up here. Let's start it at 10 o'clock this morning. So we'll go from uh, 10 a.m. and today into 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we'll give this a minute to load up here. It's a good number of frames here. So you can see that there's already some moisture starting to come in, and I'm going to zoom out and for the time being. And then once it's finished loading all the frames for the animation, then we'll step it up a little bit, and we'll be able to zoom in a little bit there. So this will give us a fairly reasonable timeline within several hours of timing on this. And I know some of you are seeing that squall line pop through, and just hold up because it's not finished loading. So let's give all these frames a minute. I know some of you are already freaking out. Uh, Too bad I'm still locked out of Facebook from going live. Nazis. But it is what it is. So with that said, uh, if you guys haven't bookmarked my page on Twitch TV, if I need to go live, and provided we don't get power knocked out, that's where I'll be going live. There's a little broadcast delay, lag with it, but um, it is what it is. So uh, again, if I need to go live, that's where I'll go live at. I'll also be posting warnings, static warnings to the page as they are issued by the National Weather Service in Lake Charles for you folks in southeast Louisiana. Uh, don't know how long I'll be able to keep my eyes open. Uh, I'll stay up as long as I can tonight. Um, and try and give as much heads up as I can. And if I need to go live for southeast Louisiana, again, it'll be on Twitch. So be mindful of what's coming. It looks like all of the frames have loaded now. I don't see any skips or jumps in it. And you see the timeline over here to your left. So I may just have maybe it's just some moisture, a lot of cloud activity uh, in the morning, but then things really start to go downhill as we get into the mid to late afternoon, and then it just really ramps up quickly. And it just pretty much explodes. And uh, I don't see a whole lot of activity that's developing on the east side of this thing. Um, Now to zoom in, and you see some of these little isolated cells popping off here, uh, these little road clusters. You could see some issues with spin ups in these, and then you get the lines start to develop and mature as it moves into southeast Louisiana during the overnight hours after midnight. So, uh, in that line, you can have uh, your QLCS spin ups along with uh, the leading edge of that line, some strong damaging winds. Uh, we'll have to see how fast this thing moves across the state. That will also play a factor in the winds. It looks like it's moving fairly quickly. So we could certainly see a lot of areas hitting 40, 45, maybe 50 mile per hour winds. The severe winds, 60 plus. Um, Not going to say widespread at this point. I think they'll be more localized, sporadic areas. We'll see that those kind of winds. You can almost certainly expect sporadic power outages. Not everybody's going to lose power, but whoever gets those the strongest winds, uh, very likely you could see power outages. Trees or limbs come down, they hit a power line, power's going bye bye. So we got a fairly rough estimate on the timeline of this. Um, right now we're at the Zero Zulu forecast, so the 06 uh, will be probably about another hour to 2 hours before it resolves. Uh, I'll be asleep by then, but when I get up in the morning, um, we're going to revisit this, and I'll post another video uh, to YouTube, and I'll cross share that to the page and in the two groups, and try and give everybody as much of a heads up as possible. Um, just going to let this play out here. So I know some of you don't like these nocturnal storms because you can't see what's coming, but Mother Nature really don't care how we feel or think. She does her own thing. So again, for Southwest Louisiana, uh, we could certainly see some isolated stuff, but and you see it as it flares up here and starts to process, and things really ramp up as it gets and speeds up as it gets through Lafayette, Acadiana, and then into southeast Louisiana. So uh, I'm not gonna take away any of the threat for southwest Louisiana. It's certainly there, but I think uh, the worst of this is going to be for Acadiana and Southeast Louisiana uh, this afternoon and tonight. So, uh, again, be mindful of what's coming. This isn't a high end threat, but it's a threat nevertheless. And just because it's not a high end threat, don't be complacent with this. Uh, that's how bad things happen when you get complacent. So, again, any threat, you take it seriously, period. End this discussion, end of philosophy. I've always stood by that, and it's never failed me. And uh, you should adopt that mentality as well. So, the people that laugh about it, you know what? Mother Nature's going to get you one day. That's all I can say. You play Russian roulette with Mother Nature, you might get 5 clicks, but that sixth trigger pull is when she pops you. So, bear that in mind. You don't bet the odds, you don't play the odds with Mother Nature. Too often than not, she's going to get you. So, again, just be ready. Uh, Make sure you have reliable weather apps on your phones. Uh, I use Storm Shield for you folks over in Southeast Louisiana. I think WAFB is probably one of the better ones. I don't know about any of the other stations, but over here in Southwest Louisiana, I know that some of the TV stations out here have some apps. Uh, Personally, I use a free app called Storm Shield. Um, I also have a weather radio. So uh, if you have weather radios, make sure that the backup battery that's inside of it, if you have that type of setup, make sure that it has a good battery in there. It usually takes a 9 volt or a couple of double A's uh, as battery backups. Make sure those are good and ready to go in case you do lose power. Um, you still got a way to get the warnings. If a warning is issued for your area, respect the polygon. Know where, when they give you the approximate location of that storm, know where you are in relation to it. I can't stress that enough. Too many people don't know their geography and don't know what's 10 miles down the road from them. They don't know which direction is southwest from their home or northeast. Folks, you got to do better. Know your geography, know which way is north from your home. Standing in any direction of your home, you should be able to turn and look north. They have compass apps. Download one. Most smartphones take it. So, a lot of this, warnings are going to come from the southwest. Tornadoes are going to be traveling from southwest to northeast, and or from west to east. So, uh, know what's to your southwest and as far as towns and parishes, and to the west of you, and be ready for that. Anything that's not coming from that direction on a warning that's issued, probably not going to affect you. So, uh, again, as I try to educate a lot of people and help you become weather aware and weather ready, as part of being Weather Ready Nation ambassador, trying to help educate the general public. Um, you got to be prepared. We prepare for hurricanes. Be prepared for severe weather outside of hurricanes. I told you what was coming. Told you we're now in our severe weather season. Uh, Fall, early winter, severe weather season. So as we get these strong fronts come through, it's a given. we're probably going to see severe weather with them. So again, heed what I try to teach you and learn from that, and take a map, use Google Maps, type in your address, you turn that sucker so that it's facing north, and you look at your house from above, and you say, okay, I know which way is north from inside my house. Southwest and west. That's the areas you need to be concerned about, because nearly all of the weather is going to come from the southwest and the west, especially tornadoes. So know what towns and parishes are to your west and southwest. And if you get a warning and you hear that a tornado or a severe thunderstorm is located near such and such location, um, and you recognize that location and say, okay, well, that's only 10 miles from me. This thing's fixing to be on top of me. Move. Get to your safe spot. You shouldn't be embarrassed to go to your safe spot and get your family to safety. You evacuate during a hurricane, that's headed for a safe spot outside of the hurricane strike zone, isn't it? This is no different. So, interior room with no windows, preferably a bathroom. If you're in a mobile home, there's really no safe spot in a mobile home. You can minimize it as best you can. Bathrooms still, most of them don't have windows, um, or the side that's facing uh, west. Whether the hallway is facing west, you can get in that hallway. Um, you know, be ready. You know, this is America, folks. We're supposed to be, you know, smart. And I'm trying to teach you how to be smart with Mother Nature. You be smart with Mother Nature, you can mitigate the risks. So it's as simple as that. So I'm pretty much done rambling. I tend to do that when I'm tired. So without further ado, uh, I'm gonna go ahead and try and get some sleep here. I just seen somebody try to message me, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Uh, I'll be up and running severe weather ops tomorrow and tomorrow night, and uh, support the mission. Donate. Use one of the 3 donation links. Be much appreciated, especially Christmas. Always appreciated then. And we'll talk to you again in a few hours. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.